In Newfoundland, young musicians learn the Irish, Scottish, French, and English tunes of their forefathers in crowded pubs and lively kitchen parties. But it takes two adventurous groups from St. John's, Figgy, Duff, and the wonderful Grand Band, to compose vibrant new songs and give old ballads and sea shanties a thoroughly modern twist.
When I was growing up, there was maybe only about 45 or 50 traditional Newfoundland songs. Later on, we found out there was like 5,000 of them. And we all started finding all of this material, the Grand Band and Figgy Duff, and we were just like bringing these things into the 70s and into the 80s.
Figgy Duff were digging up old Newfoundland tunes, and it made them, I think, you know, a very unique band.
That he was courting a farmer's daughter on many portion.
It's great to learn the songs out of the book, and there's fantastic songs out of the book, but when you can sing a song that you've learned from a person, then that's really special.
Pamela's voice was just air. It was like, you just close your eyes and you just, the air in her voice, I just think it's one of the most beautiful voices.
The interesting thing about Figgy Duff was they had established an incredible reputation, for example, in New York City, where critics worshipped them.
Again, Figgy Duff was a big one too, because they had huge success, you know, in terms of making records and going around the world playing their music.
There wasn't a bigger star in Newfoundland in 1979 than the guys in the Grand Band. Like, Elvis could have came and opened for the Grand Band. You know, like, it was literally that big.
Ron Hines, he was with a group called the Wonderful Grand Band, and he had just written this song called Sonny's Dream, and he played it for me, and I was just jaw-dropped. It's beautiful to me.
Sonny carries a load, though he's barely a man. There ain't all that to do, still he does what he can. And he watches the sea from a room by the stairs, and the waves keep on rolling. They've done.
I wrote it in 10 minutes. I had it for a whole year before I ever sang it, you know, and it just kind of snowballed, you know, and there's like a couple of hundred covers of it around the world now.
I love the Grand Band. When I heard them, Wonderful Grand Band had that fabulous, you know, combination of comedy and music, and they're great musicians.
It's 100 miles to town, Sonny's never been there, and he goes to the highway and stands there and stares, and the mail comes at 4, and the mailman is old, oh, but he still dreams in his dream full of silver and gold.
Although he doesn't hail from the East Coast, one of Canada's best chroniclers of seafaring life is Stan Rogers.
Yeah, Barrett's Privateers was kind of written in just a burst of silliness, and it kind of took off in such weird ways. I mean, I've heard about it being sung in bars in Barcelona and in Saigon.
Oh, well, said Barrett, cried the town, how I wish I was in Sherbrooke now. For 20 brave men, all fishermen, who would make for him the Antelope's crew, God damn them all. I was told we'd cruise the seas for American gold, we'd fire no guns, shed no tears, but I'm a broken man on a Halifax pier, the last of Barrett's privateers.
First time we ever went on the road outside of Newfoundland was to play at the lower deck in Halifax. And we had a plan not to sing certain songs, you know, because everybody sings Barrett's Privateers. And we walked into the place and they told us that if you don't sing Barrett's Privateers, you're not getting paid. So we learned it that afternoon, and I've been singing that song every night ever since, simply because I'm frightened to death that I won't get paid.
Brilliant songwriter, great storyteller, a huge fan, a great influence on me.
Steeped in both blues and country music, a singer-songwriter from Cape Breton emerges as another Canadian guitar hero.
He's another icon, he's another legend, really.
We didn't have any like AM hits, but we got a lot of FM airplay. Again, we were back on the road 325 days a year, playing back and forth across this country and down the States.
Running so fast that not even time can hold us. Young and free, we had nothing to hide. Doing all the things Nobody told us that just can't hold.
That song did well for me. It was my album was called Me and the Boys, and then Charlie Daniels did a cover of it, and his album was called Me and the Boys.
You know, he was the kind of guy, he would play the beer bashes or whatever when I was turning 19 at the forum dances and stuff. I'd look up at Matt and just say, man, that's what I want to do, you know. This, if I could make a living doing that, I'd be a happy man.